Alright, so when we last left off,
We found the
you
mausoleum.
found the mausoleum,
We opened the door.
opened the
It was
door,
really stinky.
it was really stinky.
And then,
Thomas fainted,
yeah,
and you kind of pulled him aside to wake him up.
fan him off.
Yeah, and now you are looking down into the entrance of the mausoleum, and it's like this. It looks like a hand dug tunnel. It's very spooky and very dark.
Well, Elise is gonna look up at him, at
He doesn't
Thomas,
look like he wants to go in at all.
and she looks back down into the tunnel, and she digs in her pocket real quick, and she hands him a handkerchief. Like her little handkerchief. That way he can hold it over
Yeah,
his mouth.
he takes the handkerchief.
And she's like, onward.
And he looks nervous. He's like, I don't know about this.
Oh, come on, it'll be fun. You've never spelunked in a mausoleum before?
No.
Well, neither have I. This is gonna be great.
Alright, make a navigate roll as you descend down into the darkness.
I don't think I put anything into that, so. Where is
Oh, yeah. Alright, so you get lost. Um, and what you find is this massive network of tunnels. They curve around, they go up, down. Well, it feels like they go up and down and left and right and just all over the place. And you just get completely lost in this maze. And it gets to the point where the two of you have to sit down and rest for a while. And once you get your strength, you rest for a bit, and sit down. Um, when you start trying to find your way again, you eventually find your way back to where you started. And as you're approaching um, just the light of the moon, because now it's night, and I'd say like for a large chunk of time, Thomas has been like complaining about like the appointment he missed, and it was like a really important business thing, and he's just spooked. He doesn't like it down here, and as you guys are on your way back up, you see a figure also climbing up.
like ahead of us?
Yeah, ahead of you.
Does Elise see it first, or does Thomas see it first? Thomas see it first.
Um, let's say Thomas sees it first, because he's eager to get out, and he's a nervous Nelly. He's not the bravest guy. Um, and when he sees the figure, he like stops dead in his tracks and like kind of reaches over to pat your shoulder and just points, and this figure is climbing out of the mausoleum, and you can kind of see just by the silhouette that it has cloven hooves for feet, and it's humanoid. It's like human shaped, except for that, and you can kind of catch a glimpse of like some like pointy ears.
Well, she's gonna wait and watch to see what it does,
Okay.
because that's their only way out.
Yeah. Okay. Um. Yep. Make a quick stealth check for me.
Oh god.
All right. So you you wait and watch, and you see the figure actually turns to give you guys a momentary glance, and its eyes sort of like glow in the dark like a cat's, and it's like you catch the reflection of like a pair of eyeglasses, like reading glasses. And it's just a momentary glance before it just continues out and into the night.
And Elise is gonna, she's gonna do a big think for a second. And she's gonna look at Thomas and ask really quietly, because it's his uncle that went missing, right?
Yeah.
Did your uncle have reading glasses?
And he also does a big thing. And as the two of you climb out, the figure is gone by now, and he's
Like what she was gonna do is she was gonna ask him as she's coming out
oh yeah,
to try and like keep on the figure's trail.
oh yeah,
And if he said yes, then she's gonna call out Mr. Kimball.
uh-huh, okay. And yeah, Thomas says yes, he does wear glasses.
And then she's gonna call out Mr. Kimball, hoping that the thing is still there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit ahead of you as it's kind of going down the path through the cemetery,
Mm-hmm.
and just as it's about to kind of disappear out of view, you call out Mr. Kimball, and it stops and turns, and the figure um actually instead of running away, the figure actually approaches, and he takes a seat by Douglas Kimball's favorite reading spot, and make a sanity check for me.
Yesterday I was doing so good.
Okay, that's okay. So I'm gonna have Thomas also make a sanity check. Like, I imagine his sanity being like maybe a little bit less than Elise's. He's, a nervous Nelly. He's not the bravest person. Um, so he, like, even though you asked him the question, he hasn't put two and two together to realize that, oh, maybe his uncle is this thing that's crawling out of the mausoleum. Um, so what he sees is this, like, his this creature, and he's just gonna dead ass faint. Like, so he loses 5 sanity and faints. Um, and like before he passes out, he's like, "Oh Lord, it's not human," and then he just falls over. Um,
Because, like, roleplay wise, I think that, she would be smart enough and have enough, like, Cthulhu Mythos, like, knowledge enough to know that there's more out there.
oh yeah,
And so it wouldn't be out of the realm of, impossible
yeah,
to think this guy got turned into something.
yeah,
And so that's why she was like, Mr. Kimball?
yeah,
Is that you?
yeah.
Because, if it didn't respond,
Mm-hmm.
then, oh shit, it's alerted to us now. Oh
Yeah.
god, Run.
Yeah. Oh, so roll a 1d4 since you cracked the code.
Oh, I forgot a space.
All right. So you lose 1 point of sanity,
Okay.
and
So that was a good 1d4 I rolled.
yes, yeah. So you lose 1 point of sanity, and
So it would be 34 or 35?
yeah, 34. Um, and uh, unlike your uh, unlike Thomas, you don't pass out, but you do like a little like involuntary scream because I think Elise has never seen a ghoul before.
No.
Yeah, and so it's like kind of like a mini anxiety attack, and um and Douglas sitting on his old favorite reading spot. He waits for you to calm down, and then he says hello.
And she's going to hold out his journal and say, and she's going to kind of gesture to Thomas, who's passed out on the fucking ground, and just say, Thomas has been worried sick about you. What happened?
Give me just one
You know,
second.
she's kind of like shivery. You know,
Yeah.
she's nervous.
Yeah. Yeah, and Douglas says, I just got tired of living among humans. I stumbled across a colony of creatures called ghouls while I was, you know, out late, out late one night. I saw them from my library window, and well, they offered me a place in their community, and it's the year that I've spent below underground has been amazing. I got tired of living up here. People were always making demands of me. All I ever wanted in life was to be left alone. And now I have that. And well, a few days ago I realized I don't have any of my favorite books, so I came up to take a few before they sealed off this passageway for good. Um, but living on the ground has been wonderful.
And
Nobody,
she's going to kind of tilt her head and she's going to ask, is this what you want?
and he nods and says, "It is."
And she's going to kind of look back to Thomas and kind of nudge him with her foot.
Yeah, he's out cold.
He's out fucking cold.
Yeah.
Alright, and she's gonna look back at, I keep looking at my notes over there. She's gonna look back at Mr. Kimball and ask, well, is there anything you want to say to your nephew? Like I said, he's been worried sick about you.
Yeah, and Douglas is gonna pause for a moment, and he says, I don't, as cruel as it sounds, I don't really have anything to say to him. But when he wakes up, I want to ask you to not tell him about where I've been or where I'm going. I think that the shock of finding what I have found would be too much for him. He's a sensitive boy.
And she's gonna look back down at him and say, I've gathered. And she's gonna look back up at the house and ask, well, are there any books that you want to take? And she's actually going to take her backpack off of her back, empty it out real quick. She's gonna hand it to him.
Oh, okay. He's going to take the backpack and go and say, well, thank you. Yes, there are quite a few of my favorite books that I do want to take with me. I've actually been thinking of writing my own book of just the wonders that I've seen underground. It's incredible. And
Well, you're gonna need paper and lots of ink for that.
oh, yes. Yes, I am. And he takes the backpack and he gives a small nod and he says, well,
And she's gonna look back at Thomas and say, well, you better get up to the house and take whatever you need. I'm not sure how long he's gonna be out.
yes, I'll take what I need post haste. And he picks up the backpack and starts heading to the house. And you see that he actually manages to get one of the windows open, and he climbs in through there.
My heart, Thomas.
You want to see a picture of him?
Yes.
There's one picture. That's if you catch him leaving the library. Oh, yeah. And then here is a portrait.
Boy howdy.
Boy howdy. Well, yeah. So
he's not that far off from you.
Yeah. He's been clinging to, what's left of him being human. Yeah, and so So, yeah, so there, yeah, so he grabs the books that he wants to take and just leaves without a sound. And a few hours later, Thomas does wake up.
Mm-hmm. Well, before Thomas wakes up and
yeah.
before Mr. Kimball goes back through the, I'm assuming back through the mausoleum.
Yes.
And kind of
yeah.
disappears forever.
Mm-hmm.
She's actually going to offer something.
Oh?
She's going to say, you know, I'm a student at Miskatonic University.
Mm-hmm.
I could probably get your book published for you.
Well, my dear, that would be splendid. I can't say for sure when it'll be finished, but
Tell you what.
if I'm ever...
Tell you what. I'll come back in a year.
Well, the mausoleum is... The other ghouls are going to steal the mausoleum very soon. So I won't be coming back.
Well, I'm going to be at Miskatonic University.
And he nods.
If ever you're in the area, you come find me. And I'll get your book published for you.
Well, sounds like a deal.
She's going to offer her hand.
And he's going to take it and shake the hand.
Is it cold? Is it clammy?
It's...
you know,
like,
leathery, still human?
I'd say, like, kind of a mix of, like, still human, and then it has, like, kind of like this rubbery texture to it. So it's, like, mostly changed, but there's still like some feeling that he was human. Um, and then he disappears on the ground.
She's gonna wave him off. She's gonna do the cute, like, girl thing where she has a handkerchief and she's kind of waving it like that.
Mm-hmm.
The dainty girl thing.
Yeah. So eventually, I'd say after a few hours, you probably managed to like carry him back inside and everything. And
Drag
Thomas,
his ass
yeah,
up the fucking hill.
yeah, and Thomas does wake up. Do you want to tell him about his uncle?
No.
Okay.
She's gonna completely play dumb and just be like, Thomas, you're finally awake. You went on a wild goose chase, you get spooked by a squirrel. She's probably got like a cup of coffee. She's just sitting there next to the fire. She probably threw him on one of those like fainting couches
Yeah,
that
probably.
rich people always have.
Probably. But yeah, so he's like, well, I nonetheless I appreciate the adventure, even.
I know you missed your appointment. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
it's
But hey,
it's okay.
you always gotta spice things up, right? Remember
I
school? All the trouble we'd get into? Or were you too blackout drunk for that?
it like cringes a little.
And she stands up and finishes her coffee, and she's gonna look at the library and say, "Well, I did seal up the windows in there. I don't think anything's gonna be stealing any more books now."
Yes, those windows are pretty old.
You could maybe think about getting them replaced.
Yeah, I've been considering it. I know some of the locks are pretty old. So I suppose that'll.
It's an investment worth making if you want to stay in this house.
Yes, it is. Well, thank you for your help, Elise.
Of course. You know where to find me. Why don't you come pay me a visit sometime? Gets all lonely in my dorm.
Oh,
You should
maybe.
come back to school someday.
I don't know. I've been busy with the family business and everything, but
No,
perhaps.
you can't take 6 months off and come chill with me.
I don't know. Perhaps.
She's gonna like elbow him.
Yeah,
Be
perhaps.
the party girl.
Maybe next summer I'll take a trip back up to New York. Or is it Massachusetts? I think it's
Massachusetts.
Yeah, Massachusetts. Yeah. Probably. Maybe next summer I'll be able to take a trip back up to Massachusetts.
I'd like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's gonna give you your $5. And for completing the scenario, so you get 1d6 sanity points back.
Ooh.
Even after losing 1 point. Just max out your sanity again.
Yeah.
And then you get $5. And
No possessions. So
I'd
should be cash, right?
I think so, yeah.
So $10.
Yeah, $10.
Woo!
Woo. And then let's see.
Hang on, can Elise be a whore for a second?
Sure.
And she's getting her coat on. And
Yeah.
all of that stuff. Because if he's a gentleman, he's gonna at least walk her to the
Oh,
door.
of
call her a
course.
cab, that sort of thing.
Of course, this is the 1920s.
Yeah. And she's gonna look up at him and say, "And if ever you need any company in this big old house of yours, you know where to call me." She's gonna wink.
He's not sure how to answer to that. It's like, okay.
He's such a himbo!
And then, all right, the adventure says this is if you went temporarily insane, but I'm gonna say you get +5 points in your Cthulhu Mythos skill because you learned a little bit about ghouls.
So
Not only that ghouls exist, but
they have a
people
society.
they have a society, and people can turn into ghouls if they spend enough time with them.
And you know this little library bug is gonna be fucking doing her research,
Mm-hmm.
finding nothing, of course, but she's gonna be doing her research.
I mean, I'd say Miskatonic University does deal with a lot of like supernatural and occult studies. I think the university even has like a copy of like the Necronomicon or something like that.
Nifty.
But I'd have to research it. I'd have to look it up because I think it's like very limited access because it's a dangerous book and all that stuff.
Well, she'll have to suck some cock to get in there.
Oh
That's
my
fine.
god. What?
What?
What? What?
Thomas?
What? Don't look at me like that.
Don't look at me like that.
Okay, I don't know how I'm looking at you like that, but okay, I won't look at you like that. Fine. Oh, so you also get experience points for the skills that you used. I forgot to have you mark them
Nice.
down. So you did charm,
I'm just gonna mark them now.
yeah, spot hidden, stealth, I think, yeah, definitely charm.
It was persuade.
Oh yeah, persuade, yeah.
Uh,
And then I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that's about it. And then hold on, let me look up how to increase skills because I don't quite remember. Okay, so you do a roll of each skill that you used, and if you succeed, I'm gonna have you do a 1d10, and that is how much your skill improves.
okay.
Well, you succeeded at charm because you have a 90 in it.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Let me. Oh wait, hold on. I misread that. Um. Okay, so you roll against your skill, and a successful roll above your current skill value increases that skill. Okay, so I
So
was
all
wrong.
the failures increase?
Yes.
Okay, so
Okay,
this
so
back down to 90.
okay, I misread that.
So, okay, so
So you improve in everything except for charm.
is it 1d10 for everything? Or
1d10 1d10 for each skill.
okay. So so 9, 4, and
and then you click the dot to, yeah.
4, 8.
There we go.
Yay.
Yay. Okay. Don't forget to click the dot for charm too. Alright. There you go. Because it's supposed to be harder to improve skills that you're already good at.
Okay.
So I had to do a double take there. But yeah. And there we go.
Boy, howdy.
So did you have fun?
Yes.
What did you think of the adventure?
Broke my heart at the end.
Oh.
Like, in a good way, though.
Uh-huh.
Because it was like a bittersweet ending.
Oh, yeah.
She just helped the old guy in his retirement, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's basically what she did. I have this, like, one hair
Oh.
on my chin that always comes back. It's just this really long, really dark hair. And, like, I can tell when it's coming in because I can feel it. And it's like a beard hair.
Oh my god. But yeah, what I kind of want to do is, like, one of these days, once we're done doing, like, our vampire stuff and D&D and all that stuff, I want to record, like, a Call of Cthulhu campaign, and maybe get some of our friends together and just do, like, just a Call of Cthulhu campaign.
Oh, wait, she had
With-
Navigate, too.
Oh yeah, Navigate.
So,
Go ahead and roll for that too.
alright. So,
But yeah, and then just record a Call of Cthulhu campaign, and Elise can be the grizzled veteran.
nothing grizzled about her except maybe her battle-worn coochie.
Oh my god.
Battle-hardened.
Battle hardened, like, boy heckin' howdy, you know I mean business against this Cthulhu mythos, 'cause I've fucked more monsters than any of you.
She'd say that in, like, the middle of a conversation, and everybody would kind of continue before being like, wait, what did you say? You know how, like, when I'll drop, like, okie dokie artichoke
Yeah.
in a thing, and people, like, keep talking, and then they're like, wait. I love that shit so much.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Thomas.
Yes.